The only thing is the skill in the great reminders. Everything is not about grasping as it is. Let there be a skillful in using the reminders, the great reminders. Otherwise, there's always the attempt to dwell within seeing, knowing, and looking. Knowing and the attempt to know, the urge to know is always locked up. That which has nothing to do with engaging or disengaging has to be skillful in helping purifying samsara through unwinding and releasing all at once. That's the skill that's needed. That's not only just about the attempt to know, to see, to look. That's not the way. That which has nothing to do with engaging or disengaging. This is the purification without traces. In other words, it's called helping through unwinding and releasing. Knower and the seer is the so-called something to be used when needed for a task. It is the center of karma and karmic retribution. That's why there's a lot of karma. It's just the attempt to know, to see. That's why there's a lot of karma. It is the origin of the karma creation. The seer and the knower is the origination of karma. The attempt to originate is not the knower. It is the desire. The conditions of the desire that is misleading and forcing the knower and the seer. It is pushing the seer and the knower. The seer and the knower is just the gate of the arising. The origination is not the knower. It is itself the desire. The urge to know, to see is the origination of the suffering, of the cause of the suffering itself. That which has nothing to do with engaging or disengaging, has nothing to do with knowing or seeing. This is purifying the attempt to mislead the knower and the seer. It is purifying the movement of the knower and seer, which is the process of karma. Remember this point. Hold on as karma in moderation. Don't spill it. Purify it at the same time. Therefore, let it be instantaneous. Nothing to do with engaging or disengaging, helping through releasing and liberation right away for the body, minds, elements. Instant helping through liberation. Don't make it worse. Nothing to do with engaging or disengaging. What is there to be practiced? Because there is no origination. It's actually purifying it. It will dissolve the attempt to arise and to cease. The practice only is just karma. Karma overlaying body, mind. Karma overlaying the elements and Dhamma. It's just karma. The practice is just a karma. That's why it creates all the realms of existence, which is the place the dimensions that takes on the karma of the practice from the Brahma realm to the hell realms. Therefore, all at once, nothing to do with disengaging, all at once. What is there to be practiced? Just disregard. Nothing to do with disregarding or regarding. Nothing to do with disregarding right away. Not just disregarding. Disregarding, discarding itself. It doesn't grasp for itself. It purifies itself. Otherwise, Luang Por will not say it. Blossom out of the blossoming state. It's not just blossom out of anything. That's why it's unwinding, discarding the unwinding itself. This is not just disengage from anything. Disengaging, discarding itself is not related to itself. It's not relevant to itself. That's it. That's all. You don't have to empty out in whatever ways again. That's it. Once nothing to do with regarding or disregarding, there is no need to be empty out in whatever ways, to be enlightened in whatever ways, to liberate in whatever ways. There is no need. Once nothing to do with regarding or disregarding, that's it. It has nothing to do with the attempt to arise or to cease. It has nothing to do with trying to be enlightened in whatever ways again. Or do you want Nibbana? That's why you're still circling within engaging and disengaging, attachment and non-attachment. Still wanting liberation, still circling within attachment and non-attachment. Nothing to do with attachment or non-attachment. There is no need to be enlightened in whatever ways again. There is no need to liberate in whatever ways again. There is no need to be empty out in whatever ways again, or to let go or not letting go in whatever ways again. There is no arising or ceasing. There is no attempt to arise or to cease when nothing to do with engaging or disengaging, attachment or non-attachment. It purifies the attempt to arise and to cease already. Once nothing to do with engaging or disengaging with everything, it will give ending to the attempt to arise and to cease within the mind. There is no need to be enlightened in whatever ways again. That's it. There is no need to try to be attached or non-attached in whatever ways again. If you're still in between engaging and disengaging, that is the conditions of trying to arise and to cease. If you purify such circling, it will be accordingly. Nothing to do with attachment or non-attachment with everything. That's it. This will give ending automatically for the attempt to arise and to cease. This is called the enlightenment purifying samsara. Continue like this. It's not to guess Nibbana and liberation in whatever ways. Don't guess. This is the desire that is misleading. Like this, like that, is the desire misleading. Blessed through the great compassion in the way that gives ending. Don't rely on wisdoms, which is the problem itself. It's a lot of desire of opinions and meanings. Wisdom is to be used for a task, for a routine in living the life. Assume up wisdom, but for the essence of the enlightenment, don't use it. The essence of the enlightenment is direct cutting, nothing to do with engaging or disengaging. But when you do a task, you need a wisdom. You need to assume up mindfulness, concentration, and wisdom, and meditative absorption. You can assume it up, but with Nibbana, don't use it, because that is not Nibbana. It is not Nibbana, it is something else. You have to know that wisdom to be used with what? Even when you wearing clothes, you need wisdom, a little bit of wisdom and mindfulness. Mindfulness, concentration, and wisdom is to be used for assume up for a task. Have nothing to do with Nibbana. Nibbana has nothing to do with relating or not relating. Don't fabricate to use enlightenment. Otherwise, you're going further away. You cannot use anything with Nibbana at all. But when you use the body mind, you can assume up mindfulness, concentration, and wisdom according to the moderation. How much wisdom do you need when you're wearing clothes? You need a lot of wisdom. You need a lot of mindfulness, extremely. You need to use it in moderation with according to the task that is assumed up, and it will be accordingly by itself. With the non-attachment and liberation, don't use it. Nothing to do with attachment or non-attachment. That's it. To use mindfulness, concentration, contemplation, and wisdom, you don't have to teach anyone with it, because whenever you teach it, it will be a grasping that is overlaying, because it's there and it's bygone in itself after it's used. But whenever you use as teaching, it's going to be unfortunate, because it will be attached to mindfulness, concentration, contemplation, and wisdom. Don't teach anyone with it, because the grasping will be overlaying there, which creates realms of existence. Normally, it's there, but it's in the way of bygone after use. Having or not having is not a problem, because it's not about grasping. Having a lot or less is not about grasping. Mindfulness, concentration, contemplation, effort, perseverance, or equanimity whatsoever is there and it's bygone after use, temporarily used. That's all. There is no need to teach anybody, because there will be delusive attachments overlaying. It turns into karma overlaying body, mind, and dharma and life, and it will be difficult to release out. Help through cutting deluded knowing only. There is no need to teach anyone and mislead anyone with this. Awakening is already there. Knowing is already there, is in moderation already. But assume up the great compassion with everything. Everything, often. Initiate these reminders as often. That's the great compassion. You need to use the reminders. Everything. If you don't use the reminders of the great compassion, it will be slacking and in the way of ordinariness. That is not okay. That it has nothing to do with being ordinary or not. to be limited and to dwell within any state of mind. It's just a realm of existence. It's the dwelling. That which has nothing to do with attachment or non-attachments, with everything. Use these reminders to purify, to help purifying, to help unwinding constantly. Help unwind from the attempt to dwell, which is overlaying the ordinariness. It is the desire and delusive attachment that is subtle, but it's still a realm of existence. Therefore, use the reminders that have auto-cutting, nothing to do with engaging or disengaging. Then automatically, if we have nothing to do with being ordinary or not relating, even to not relating itself, there will be no questions over your head, and there is no doubt that it has nothing to do with attachment or non-attachments. What is there to be doubtful with? When it's stuck with drowning and maintaining any state, therefore there is doubt. The attempt to dwell is there. There is no purification. Once it has nothing to do with engaging or disengaging, if we have nothing to do with liberating or not, if we have nothing to do with being enlightened or not already, that will end all the root cause, all the seeds. You yourself telling yourself by your own thoughts is the desire and opinions that is misleading, that you are like this, like that. You see this bench, anyone who's sitting there, is it stupid? Some people use sitting, some people use the feet. Is it called stupid? It's meaningless. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't have any meanings as anything at all. This is the desire misleading the opinions, trying to give opinions and meanings like this, like that. This is the desire misleading the opinions and meanings. This bench is not stupid or smart. It's not even indifferent. It's not classified as being ordinary. It's not classified as anything whatsoever at all. It doesn't signify as anything at all. You just call it a bench, but it doesn't call itself a bench. It doesn't call itself as anything. Nothing to do with attachment or non-attachments. More often, it will cut off all the misleading of opinions and meanings and all the misleading to fabricate. This has nothing to do with being stupid or smart. It is just the fabrication of opinions and meanings. Only giving and all the holding on, it is karma. It is karma and karmic difficulties all at once. Release it. Give. Often give. There is not much at all. Once it has been grasping, it has been grasped. Just correct it by giving. That's all. Give. This is the essence. It's impossible to become an illusion. It cannot be deceived. It cannot be guessed because you cannot proceed forward. Once you meet Luang Por, it's impossible to guess or to then randomize those who have the great perfection. has to be open and listen. Sometimes it's not just listening, but have to be near. This is not an imagination. It is the real thing.
ก็มันก็มีวาสนาตรงนี้อยู่ในเรื่องญาณในเรื่องความเป็นทิพย์ของเขาเนี่ยจิตมันก็เลยคิดแต่เรื่องพวกนี้
Those who have the special insights, they have the thoughts only just about these things, about the avatar, about this and that, because they have the great blessed fortune. They are familiar with these things. The third eyes, the fourth eyes, the fourth ears, opening up as a connection. But when it is the noble truth, it's impossible to move forward with that, because otherwise it will be confusing.